Today I'm going to show you my Van Gogh brand watercolor palette, and I bought this quite a few years ago, back when I was first learning how to paint watercolors, and I used it a few times. Thought it was pretty good, but then ended up upgrading to some artist grade watercolors. But I'm going to show you how well these paints work, because they're pretty good if you're looking at learning how to do watercolors. So if you open up the palette, you can see you have a lot of mixing wells. There's 6 of them. It's plastic, so it does stain fairly easily. It comes with a little travel brush, which is not the greatest brush out there. You can see, and this came with a bunch of the bristles pushed back. So unfortunately, a lot of those are permanently pushed back. But you can see on the very end here, you have a little piece that sticks out. That's so you can insert it into this little tab here, pull it out, and then you have double the space to mix in, which is really handy when you're out and about. But I wouldn't use the actual paintbrush when I'm actually painting. But it is handy if you don't have a whole lot of room to pack your paints. And it comes with 12 colors. They're fairly standard colors, so they're not bad. The only one that's not really useful is the white color, because generally when you're painting watercolors, you don't really use white, but some artists do. And I did try it out quite a few times before deciding that it wasn't necessarily valuable. So I'm going to show you how well the actual paint looks. So let's start with the red. This is a permanent red light. And I'll just put a bit down, and you can see it's fairly an orange red. But you can see it's fairly strong. I wouldn't say it's as strong as artist watercolors, but it's pretty decent. And now I'll show you an ultramarine green or ultramarine blue, and it's quite good as well. Again, I wouldn't say it's as strong as artist watercolors, but not bad at all. And then I'll show you just a sap green. It's pretty light, pretty pale. You can add a bit more, but it's a nice bright green if you're doing a lot of nature painting. And now I'm going to show you just a couple of the colors just off of my artist watercolors. And these are, they're different brands. I'm not sure which is which brand. I have a lot of the core watercolors and some others. So here's my ultramarine blue. So it's really not that bad in comparison. I would say you have a bit more control with the artist watercolors over the Van Gogh ones. And now I don't have the same red, but I have a pyrrole red light, which is quite similar. It's a fairly orangey red. And you can see it's a bit of a stronger red, but even it's not dramatically better, but not bad at all. And then I'll just compare the sap green, just because I've compared all the other colors. So it's a bit of a different shade of a sap green, so it's less bright. It has a bit more of an olive tone. But really in all, I would say when you're first starting out, the Van Gogh kit is really quite good. I just find you have a lot less control. Yeah, I've had more issues with, where the color, goes really dark in spots and light in other spots. So I just find with the artist colors, you have a bit more control, and it is a little bit more pigmented, I find. But it's definitely worth getting a Van Gogh or something similar. A lot of people, I've heard them describe the Van Goghs as much better than student brand, maybe not quite as good as artist brand, but really, really good if you're looking for something that isn't going to break the bank.